and more coming up today on Darryl Sports.
All right, guys, Darryl McCoy.
And Colby Page.
All right, guys, we got an exciting new segment coming up next. Couch Guest with Kaitlyn Keathley. All right, guys, this is our inaugural episode of Couch Guest, and Kaitlyn Keathley is our first athlete that we have on the couch here. Kaitlyn, you're kind of you was the it player this year. You're the only player from the 15th region to go D1. How's that feel?
It's really exciting. It's what I've worked for my whole life, so I'm really just excited to get down there.
Now, you've had a rocky road throughout your career. Does it kind of come that much sweeter after knowing what you've been through over the last 3 years?
Yeah, definitely. Well, being with Pike Central, like we had a great team. We went to the Final Four. And last year, my junior year, didn't go as I wanted it to, of course. But I think coming to Prestonsburg, it did. It made it a whole lot better and more exciting for me to, earn this opportunity. So it means a lot more.
And that's what I was wanting to ask you. I've been wanting to ask you for a while, Kaitlyn. If you had it to do over, do you think that kind of hampered your as far as your career went, switching schools like that? Would you have rather had the right school from the beginning and stayed there?
Well, I don't know. That's really a hard question because, Pike Central, that's really like where I became who I am.
Yeah.
Like everything that whole team, it's how I really got my confidence up and became the player I was. And then going to Pikeville last year, of course, I had some struggles there, but I think it all made me the player I am for my senior year. So I think it all kind of worked out the way it was supposed to.
See, the way I always seen it, when you talk about like Zion Harmon, it's hard to keep up with him because he's switching schools. Like right now, he's one of my favorite players, but I don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you right now where he's going to play next year. So, that was kind of what I was always worried about with you because you was obviously from your sophomore season you had D1 talent.
Yeah.
You played under Coach Derek Newsom. His system, he's the type you go 100 mile an hour 100% of the time and do you think that your days at Pike Central and under Coach Newsom did because offensively you was always you was good offensively.
Yeah.
You didn't have to worry about anything there, but did the days with Coach Newsom, is that something that really helped you on the defensive side?
Yeah, for sure. That's what Pike Central was all about, was defense and the press. So, we had a lot of fun when we done it. So.
Now, going to Prestonsburg this year, Coach Kidd, be honest, I think Coach Kidd should have been, Coach of the Year.
For sure.
You've had three different high schools, Pike Central, Pikeville, and now Prestonsburg. You had 20-win seasons. Is that something, an accomplishment in itself that you're always going to be proud of?
Yeah, definitely. I know that wherever I was, that I made the people around me better. So
I know, like, it was when y'all was sitting at 19 wins, I had spoke to you, and that was one thing that was eating at you.
Yeah.
You wanted that 20th win, and knowing it come, the last game of the season, was that did that make it a little bit sweeter?
yeah, definitely, because it was our last home game, so it meant a lot to me and for my team, and I just I really wanted that not only for me but for Coach Kidd. So I'm glad that we got it.
Now, with Prestonsburg, like I said, you're the ultimate floor general. You make everybody around you better. Whenever it went to the players because talking to a couple girls that come to the camp, they really looked up to you and what you brought to the team. What are a couple of them girls that you really kind of took pride in and that come next year we're going to know about?
Well, they're all definitely really young. So there's Faith Lazar and Selena Mullins, and they're two players that by their senior year they're going to be a big time threat in this region. And they also have Olivia Sloan that's coming up, playing point guard, and Allison Campbell, who's the senior right now. She gets after on defense. So after Allison leaves, it might be hard for them that next year, but by the time Faith and Selena are seniors, it's going to be really good.
Now, one thing that I always wanted to let players know, I wanted to use you as an example because you're one of the girls that done it. When you take most kids around here, they spend every summer playing AAU ball. Yeah. They're away from here. Their parents spend thousands of dollars. But in the case of you took, and it was during the summers, you was in the gym with your dad. It was, every day you was in there working on your craft instead of going and playing AAU and exposure ball. You was working on your game, and you ended up the same place that exposure ball helps. Does it is that something that you kind of see like, okay, there is different paths to the same destination?
Yeah, well, like me and my dad always talked about me playing AAU. Like, it was always a thought, but we honestly thought, just spending my own time in the gym, that would make me the better player I am, especially because we always worked on ball handling a lot. Yeah. That's my thing. So we thought that's what we needed to do for me. So
now, when it come time to choose colleges, you had options. You had a lot of options. Why did you settle with Presbyterian?
Well, Presbyterian, Coach Sharp, well, she really excited me, first of all, because she makes me feel really welcomed and really wanted. So that's what I loved. And she also talked about how we're going to be building the program up to something, more special. And also, with it being D1, obviously that's something that I've worked for a long time. So that's, I was really excited about that. And it's also located about an hour away from my family in South Carolina. So that played a big part in it, too.
Okay. Come next year, is it going to be a process to get see you on the court, or do they have plans on playing you right away, or how's the team look?
Well, when I first get down there, I know that I'm going to be, whatever they want me to be, honestly. Yeah. Like, I'm going to get down there, I'm going to make my teammates better, I'm going to be the best teammate that I can. But I'm sure my role will change throughout my career while I'm there. But I'm just there to, play ball.
Now, do you think it's going to be a hard adjustment coming from where you are the star to going to,
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But, I'm excited because I know no matter what, I know I'm good now, but the player I'm going to be 4 years from now, it's going to be totally different. So
that's it. When it boils down to it, you're the best ball handler in the mountains, boys or girls. So when you go to college, that's something that you're always going to be able to rely on because I'm sure that, that skill right there is going to transcend to the next level.
Yeah, definitely.
So, guys, that's it for our first segment of Couch Guests. Thank you, Kaitlyn Keathley.
Thank you.
All right, see you next year.
Yep.
I want to thank Kaitlyn Keathley for coming in for our first ever, our inaugural episode of Couch Guests. Great having Kaitlyn in.
It was. She's a very nice young lady. It's the first time I've ever met her. Very polite, very good interview. She answered all your questions, didn't try to dodge anything or duck anything. Not that you ask her anything too hard, but she seems like a nice young lady. I wish her nothing but the best moving forward, playing some college ball.
That's great. One thing